Welcome to Raising Happy and Thriving Gifted Kids, a daily podcast where you get relatable stories, interesting lessons, and practical tips to help your kids thrive and be happy while enjoying your own life even more. So yesterday we ended our episode talking about what are you learning and why. And we talked about, them forgetting 80 to 90% of what they're learning in school anyway. And that is focused on a world that's staying relatively the same. But the world is changing. It's changing faster and faster. Like by now, ChatGPT can outperform most juniors in most jobs, like all of the jobs at the same time. So one of the tests that I came up with, like a rule of thumb to design, like what should our kids be learning, is the Mars Rome rule. Like when you're teaching your child something, the question should be like, if I'm going to teach you this thing, would it have been valuable in ancient Rome? And will it most likely be valuable on Mars? Because if something that I'm going to teach you is going to be valuable on Mars and it would have been valuable in ancient Rome, it most likely will be universal. Because the world could not have been different between those two places. And so, people will slam me for this, but teaching kids endless grammar lessons, memorizing history facts, memorizing geography, learning long divisions, they all have their function, but all of them have very little function on, ancient Rome or on Mars. But, being a collaborator, being, persevering, knowing what your talents are, knowing how to make yourself happy, knowing how to make other people happy, knowing how to bring out the best in others. Those are all useful traits that will make you popular in ancient Rome, that will make you popular on Mars. And so looking at what things are timeless, that makes a huge difference. But then from that perspective, you can make school useful again. Like learning Spanish, if you're never ever going to go to a Spanish country and you have a phone that will translate everything instantly, might not be the most useful thing. But the process of learning Spanish is making you a better learner, is teaching you how to use your memory, is teaching you how, different languages and different cultures express things in a different way. And actually, it's been shown that bilingual kids are more, easier able to develop empathy. So with something practical, you can develop something useful, profound, and universal. So, with a bit more background at the same question as yesterday, what do you want your kids to learn? And if you look from this lens at what the value of a diploma is, you can really wonder if that's the highest possible goal in life. Getting a kid through an Ivy League program. Like if I could choose, are my kids finishing an Ivy League university, but not, only learning the actual facts that they needed to learn, but not becoming a learner in the process, or going through some other crazy process which did not give them a degree, but makes them be perseverant, knowing themselves, empathic, being great learners, being great problem solvers, I would know which one to pick any day of the week. So, curious what you think. What do you want your kids to learn? And what can you focus on today that would have been useful in Rome and would be useful on Mars? If you liked this episode of Raising Happy and Thriving Kids, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcast software. And if you want to dive deeply into all the things you can do to help your kids thrive, be happier while making your own life more enjoyable, go to smartparentingsecrets.com, where you can get free additional training. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, bring out the best in yourself and each other.